Okay, so the Heat, the problem I have with the Heat, Miami Heat, is that they need a second option scorer. They really do. You know, Jimmy can only do so much. And you know why I think the Nuggets are going to win? It's because they're deep. They're a deeper team. Now, I can say the same thing for Boston. Boston was a deeper team. But you know what? They lack discipline. They lack coaching. They need a strong, level head coach. If you put a strong, level head coach in there, watch next year, different story. You know, now I'm not gonna say that they're gonna be the number two seed again. Hell, for all we know, Boston can be from number two all the way to number seven. You know, Boston can literally struggle next year. You know, because the NBA is giving them too many chances. Okay, last year in the bubble, not really in the bubble, but last year you was the number one seed, I believe. You lost to Golden State. This year, you lost to an eighth seed. So how many chances are we gonna give you? How many chances are we gonna give you? You know what I'm saying? So again, just like the bubble, Jimmy had to do so damn much. And you could say, well, if Tyler Hero was playing, Tyler Hero isn't it. He's more of a streaky shooter. Yeah, he could get hot, but he's not consistent. He's not like Clay. You know what I'm saying? So like Jimmy just needs that number two. Bam could be a three. Jimmy could be a one. Bam could be a three, and then you just need that second scorer. You know, whether it's Paul George. Imagine if Paul George went to the Miami Heat. So it would be Bam, Jimmy, and Paul George. Would that get there? Like, would that get it done? I don't know. You know, because sooner or later the Clippers are gonna have to blow it up. Now, obviously, they're gonna run it back again next year. Because I've had it with the Clippers. You know, I picked the Clippers to win it all like three times already, and they choked. Not really choked, but they failed. I don't believe in choking. They just failed. They didn't get the job done. So the last time the number eight seed went all the way to the playoffs, you would have to go back all the way to my Knicks. You know, my Knicks did it in 1999. So if my math is correct, that was like 19 years ago. Um, Next year will be 20 years ago that they last went to the finals. You know, Jimmy in Miami, he did it in the bubble. Couldn't get a good done against the Lakers. AD was seeking his first ring. You know what I'm saying? And after that, he just fell off. You know, he wasn't the same. I think he was just satisfied with the one ring. You know, I think that's why he played his very best because he was gunning for his first ring. You know, after he got his first ring, it was like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna stop playing. I'm just gonna stop trying. You know, but you know, if you go back and look at that bubble championship, Jimmy put that team on his back, and he has the same supporting cast that he had in that bubble. Now he didn't have Kyle Lowry at the time, obviously. So I'm gonna piggyback and say he didn't have the same roster. Because he didn't have Kyle Lowry. Maybe he did. I'm not pretty sure. But he didn't get the job done. This time again, he's going back to the finals. Now, if he loses, Jimmy Butler will go down as one of those cats where, yeah, he could take you there, but he won't win it. You know what I'm saying? He won't win it. He won't win it. Because he just doesn't have a good enough supporting cast around him. And you saw how tired he was in the bubble, you know? Now, obviously, the Nuggets are a very good team, you know? They will give a lot on defense, but it's very hard to stop them offensively. I do believe the Nuggets will win the NBA championship. I already said that it's gonna go to seven. Because I don't think it's going to be a sweep. I don't think it's going to be a gentleman's sweep. I don't think it's going to end in 6. I think it's going to end in 7. If there's one thing Miami Heat does very well is pacing. They're a very good pacing team. What the Nuggets do very well, if Joker's not going, as you can see, you got Gordon, you got Porter, you got Pope. You know what I'm saying? Like you got guys that can actually put buckets in the hoop. Because if Jimmy's not going, but you're gonna trust Bam, you're gonna trust Vincent, you're gonna trust Shoots. Like, come on, man. Even if Tyler Hero was playing in the series, you're gonna trust Tyler and his non-consistent self. Cause Tyler can be cold. He can get cold. I've seen him. I've seen stretches of him getting cold. You know what I'm saying? So Jimmy, like I said before, man, Jimmy just needs that number 2, man. He just really needs that. He really needs that number 2. To relieve the pressure off of him. Because if he goes into that same mode, because he only knows how to play one way, Jimmy Butler. Even though he's a pretty good defender, he's just going to have to do so much. He's going to have to put up 40, 50 just to keep them afloat. And that might not even do it. Like we've seen James Harden put up 45. The next day, the next game, he put up like a stinker, 12 points. You know what I'm saying? So he's just going to have to get a number 2, a good number 2. You know? I mean, a lot of people have the Miami Heat favorite. But again, my Knicks was favored too. And we beat them to go on to the NBA Finals just to lose to the San Antonio Spurs or the Rockets. No, it was the Spurs. It was the Spurs. It was the Spurs. I remember. It was the Spurs. So Miami Heat will be the second team, the second 8th seed to go all the way to the NBA Finals. Which before nobody even expected Miami to come out the bubble. I mean, the playing tournament. You know? Nobody expected Miami Heat to beat the Bucks. Celtics. They beat the number 1 and 2 seed. So they have to win the championship. Because if they go into this series and lose, it's even harder because teams rebuild. You know what I'm saying? Teams get better. They add new additions. So it's gonna be even harder now again to duplicate what they did this year. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't think there's gonna be any more 8 seed surprises anymore. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think that's more of a college Sweet 16 type of stuff. Where you see, like that's like Davidson winning the tournament. You know what I'm saying? That's like Davidson winning the Sweet 16 tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I didn't expect that. But expected sometimes. Not every script is gonna go the same way because that's what not we, but that's what y'all expected, right? We was gonna see Boston versus Philly. I mean, not Boston. Boston versus Bucks, right? But look, they flipped the script. They said, you know what? Let's flip the script because a lot of people are expecting the number 1 and number 2 seed to advance. Let's throw them a little curveball. You know what I'm saying? So Nuggets are gonna win their first championship in franchise history, and yeah, the Nets should be ashamed. The Brooklyn Nets should be ashamed. If the Nuggets win a championship, they should be ashamed. They really should be ashamed. And I call Nets fans nuts fans because they don't have the cojones to to win a championship. They really don't. You know what I'm saying? They really don't. You know. And speaking of the Nets had very good talent go through that locker room, to go through that franchise. You had Dr. J, you had Kenyon Martin, you had Vince Carter, you had Jason Kidd, you had Van Horn, you had Harris, you had even Joe Johnson, you had Darryl Williams, you had Brooke Lopez, who was a obviously longtime Nets player, and they couldn't get it done. The last time the Nets made it to the not really made it to the you could say make it to the finals was in 2004, I believe, and it was against the Lakers, and they got swept. Since then, they never got back. They never got back. That organization is dead. It's dead. It's dead. And I'm not even a Nets fan. And I'm glad I wasn't a Nets fan. I mean, they were good in New Jersey, don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? But when they came into Brooklyn, it's like, like they just got toxic fans, man. I mean, they really, I can't stand the Brooklyn Nets. I really can't. I mean, I can accept any other franchise, you know what I'm saying? Except for them. They're the most, you don't get it. You don't get it. You would have to be in New York. You would have to be from New York to get it. You really would. You know, they have one of those. They have one of the most toxic fan base ever. But but yeah, man, Jimmy Butler is gonna have to put on the show once again, unless if not Kyrie, unless Kyle Lowry steps up, which I don't think so. They have a whole bunch of undrafted players on that squad. Most of them, like, and this is the rematch of the 2020 finals between, not rematch, but Eric Gordon was on the oh no, it was the rematch of the 2020, but they were on different teams though. They were on different teams at the time, so it's gonna be a good game. I'm gonna watch every last bit of it, and may the best team win. That's all I can say, because I'm not a fan of neither of them. I'm a Knicks fan, so you know, should have been my Knicks, but it is what it is. I mean, Randall just got to get his playoff struggles behind him. Because if Randall can put up the same numbers that he put up in the regular season, he should do it in the postseason. Now, he did step up a little bit. I'm not going to lie. There was a couple of games where he scored 20 plus, but it just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. Fournier didn't even play, which was weird, because we needed that from him. I don't know if he got shut down. I don't know if he was injured, but we obviously needed his presence, But I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, man, Jimmy Butler's gonna have to play hero again, you know. Because if everybody can play the same way that they played against the Boston Celtics, against the Bucks, then they have a shot of winning it all. But I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think no eighth seed in NBA history has won a championship. They have came close, you know, but obviously no. You know what I'm saying? You're the eighth seed for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you can't go out there and play your best, which Jimmy Butler did in the bubble, and you saw he was exhausted. You know, but I think he's gonna have to do it again, and I don't think he has the energy. He has the energy, but it's just gonna take a massive effort from everybody. Everybody's gonna have to step up. You can't disappear like you did against Boston in Game 4. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do that, you're gonna get swept. I'll tell you that right now. If Miami plays the same way that they played in Game 4, which they should have won, but obviously, it is what it is. But if they play the way that they play in Game 4, it's gonna be a sweep. But if they play the same way that they played in Game 7, then this game is gonna go to 7 games. I guarantee you it. But like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.